really not good. I had a lab when I was growing up, and I did that once, and it went south pretty quick. And then when it was a big, like he was a big, like not a big lab, but he was just really strong. Like all I did was hunt and chase balls around. And one time I threw a ball for him and I wasn't really paying attention. I was also holding on to his leash, and I got horizontal so fast. Like it really jacked up one of my fingers because I just like got sideways so fast. It was just like he had this head of steam and I was flying behind him. Like you would have thought I was a superhero, except for that I was screaming like a little girl, just like, Wah! And then I got hurt. But I lived to tell about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Home Service Happy Hour. I'm Dan. That should be my like either last name or title would just be a beer opening. I'm Dan.
I'm Dan.
Did I tell you guys when Crosby, my youngest, he is still like learning how to talk, but he has fluid in his ears, so he has a really hard time hearing stuff. And so, but it's like adorable at the same time as he's like learning how to talk. What's up, folks? Jumping on in. Somebody's grabbing a beer. I like the sound of that. We got a little what's up, Dan? Hey, Angela going on. Oh, you got the Corona with the lime. That's a good form. It's good form. But Crosby, he's like still trying to figure out this talking thing, and he's super talkative. Ooh, Zig's in the house. You can relax now. The pressure's off. I don't know. Zig, I'm glad you're here, and I'm always relaxed, but I don't correlate you being here with a reason for me to relax. I'd be relaxed if you were here. I think I'd be relaxed if you weren't here. But I'm actually like more excited that you're here instead of relaxed.
We're excited you're here.
Now like dude's got 2 trucks rolling around now. He's doing twice as much. Guy's doing twice as much out there. But Crosby he's like starting to get out of this, but I'd be like, who's that? Where's Reggie? And he'd go, that's what he calls Reggie, like static from a TV. That's his name for Reggie, and it's absolutely adorable. Like when he wants one of his sisters, it's I think it's just the cutest thing. What do we got going on here? We got Zig checking in. He says, I like to think that when I'm not watching you guys, are just wondering if I'm going to get in or not. It probably worries you. That is a concern. I'm like, where is Zig? What is he doing? Is he out working right now? Is he okay?
I was worried yesterday, Zig. You are a very faithful attender of Visionary Circle, and I had to do Visionary Circle all by myself for the first time without JC, and I did not have you in the audience. So you were missed yesterday.
Damn it, Zig. Come on. He was probably busy out doing work. He's filling up. Jamie, this is we're gonna spend some time talking about Jamie's comment here. This is a really good one. First, Jamie, before I get into your comment, because there's some good things that I think we can be helpful on. I need to get on my Facebook feed itself and make me public. This is the thing Angela taught me to do.
Every time you remind me of that, then I know I need to share.
Yeah, I need to change the privacy of the post just on my page. I don't know why it defaults to private, but I want everybody to know. And we're making a radio show, so we should probably go live on the radio since this is a radio show.
You forgot again.
No, I knew. I just get distracted. You know, Jai, I just get distracted.
Yeah, I know.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready, Jai? You ready?
Yep.
That's my bam. Yeah. Now it's a radio show. Now we're legit. Oh, what's up, business nerds and home service homies? Welcome to Home Service Happy Hour right here on Turf's Up Radio. We are making a radio show type of material. People are getting busy. I just kind of want to talk about what you guys are seeing out there. As a bookkeeping nerd, I kind of see what everybody else has got going on. I see the wins and the losses. I see the ups and the downs. And I'm hearing mixed reports, mixed reviews. So I'd like to hear what you guys got going on. And Jamie Hallman was already checking in. says, yo, busier than ever in Southwest Michigan, trying to hire for the first time ever, scheduling into mid-July. Jamie, you got to hire some people, which you already know that. He says, not good, LOL. There's probably a couple things going on here, Jamie, and I think this is just like good stuff to dig into. Zig also, he's not Southwest Michigan. Zig, you probably be East Central Michigan. Would you Zig? Would you claim Detroit, or would you say that you're just Eastern or southeastern Michigan? But Zig says he's busier than ever. Have so much forecasted work right now. Was not expecting this. Michigan is booming. It's probably that governor you guys got over there. Business just be booming in Michigan because you guys is governor. Just kidding. I'm just trying to troll you guys a little bit and see if I can fire you. But awesome stuff, both of you guys. I know Zig, Jamie, Zig just put another truck on the road. He says he's southeast-ish, 10 miles from Detroit. Yeah, I just didn't know if you'd say I'm in Detroit or if you'd be like, I don't want to be Detroit. I'm this area of Michigan. Jamie says our governor blows. That was kind of the feedback I was hoping to see. That was what I was thinking I would get. Just wanted to dangle that carrot out there for you to grab. No, that's all. Congrats, Jamie. Congrats, Zig. Super cool to hear. Teresa McConnell jumping in. Show favorite. I would say like, there's like fan favorites. Teresa's a show favorite. What's the opposite of fan favorite? Like she likes the show, but I like Teresa more than she likes the show. She's a show favorite. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Teresa's the shit. Teresa's the shit. That's what I'm trying to say. Facebook user says it's busy over here in West Virginia and VA too. That's good stuff. It is that time of year. It's that time of year. I want to get to what Jamie said back up here. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Where was this? He said busier than ever, booked out into mid-July. And Angela, I bet you have a cool lens of this too, because you have VAs that are like helping people book up their schedules. And so you kind of get to see how the schedule starts to fill up. Yeah. One of the things that I tend to see, Jamie, is when you're ramping up and you're starting to grow your team, when we're small and it's just us, we have a tendency to underprice stuff. We don't price like a big company prices. And then eventually we get too booked out because our prices are low. And so we get way booked out. And normally, not all the time, you might be pricing super high. And that's cool if you are. But normally we get booked out so far because we're not pricing that high. But it then gives us the leeway to get our prices up to where they need to be to be able to afford what it costs to recruit, what it costs to hire people, what it costs to scale a business. It definitely gets more expensive to run as you scale. Sean might jump on here with us too, who runs Hire Lead Chill, knows a thing or two about recruiting. But I have also, like almost everywhere in the country, heard that recruiting is way easier than it used to be the last couple of years. I mean, like way easier. Andy in Minneapolis, who owns Kahuna Window Cleaning, was a partner of mine for a long time. He and I have a weekly like CFO call together. And so I'm working on his business. And he had said today, like where they used to spend $50 a day on Indeed, he's spending like less than $5 a day on Indeed right now. And he's like, I don't know. Like, I'm tempted to shut off ads. I know what Sean and Dan always say. Always be recruiting. He's like, I know I got to keep recruiting, but I have like 10 people that I can't hire. I want to hire them. I just have so many people stacked up in my hopper that I've interviewed, approved, high-fived, ready to go. And I can only get them in the door and train them so fast. So I'm hearing like more of that on the labor side, which is awesome. If you're like Jamie and you have work stacked up into July, I've always been of the mind, once you get more than a month out, that is your permission to do what Zig did and get the next truck on the road and get the next team lead going. It takes about a month to get the right person and get them trained up so they can run a truck. Maybe takes a little bit longer, Jamie, when it's your first person, because you don't have all the systems and processes figured out. And you're not sure when, like, exactly, it's choppy or getting them going. But I kind of feel like, and Angela, you're nodding your head, like once you're booked a month out, that's good permission to give yourself to make that investment in the next truck, make that investment in finding the right next person, so you can get a team lead going and get a second operation rolling. What you think, Angela?
Yeah. And like you said, you got to do that, especially when you do it the first time. You got to amp up for that because you don't have that process in place. So you got to be bringing that team lead up with you to break off.
Yep. Jamie, one other thing, because I've scaled a window cleaning business or two. I'm cheap as shit. There's gonna be people out there that disagree with me, and I don't disagree with them, even though they're wrong. But I like, especially when you're growing early on. I'm very much of the in the way that you're booked out as far as you are. I don't like going and getting super expensive rigs. I'm like, let me go get that beat up, shitty, rusty truck for like $4,000 that I think can get me through the rest of the summer. Or in our window cleaning, we'd run transit vans. Like, I want to bootstrap everything and get this work knocked out. Like, the work's already scheduled. So I'm not immediately concerned about, I got to have every vehicle wrapped and I got to sell it this way or do that thing. I'm like, I need to get out to this damn job and get this thing cleaned to generate the revenue to pay for the next marketing thing and the next hire and the next training. And eventually, as I get caught up with this workload I created, then I won't have so much invested in these assets that I'll have the bankroll to go get the real setups that I want. But right now I'm going to like bootstrap frugally and go crank out all this work. And so part of the challenge of getting a new crew going is you also need more assets. And I always have just tried to do that as frugally as possible early on. Not saying you're going to grow a $5 million company that way, but it expedites that curve for you with kind of where you're at in the game right now.
Geez, you'd think you were, had some accounting smarts.
A frugal bookkeeper. You'd think I was a frugal bookkeeper or something. What are the chances?
That's great advice. And not like a lot of visionary entrepreneurs do. Like, let's look fancy. Let's make it all look good first.
I like to make it look good later, or when you know what you want it to look like. I think there's a difference too there. Like in this bookkeeping business, this is a good example. Like I kind of knew what I wanted it to look like. The first time I did this, I didn't know exactly. And so the first time you do it, you're not going to love what you set up the first time anyway. You're going to want to keep changing it and keep changing it. So until you know exactly how you like it, don't spend a shitload of money on something that you're going to want to keep changing. Go screw around with it and just go get the work done. Jamie, pro tip, if you haven't heard me talk about struggling with words today, Angela. It's been a day. It's just been a day. If you haven't heard me talk about group interviews before, Sean and I have done some podcasts on it, and it changes your life when you're super busy. To like doing one-on-one interviews is not feasible, especially in the busy season. Set it up to do a group interview twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4:00. I actually do that in our bookkeeping business. That is how I have 10 account managers like ready to go on the sidelines that I'd love to hire. We just got to keep growing and bring them on. But group interviews are so efficient to get the right people, get them weeded out. I wish Sean was on here today. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on, but if you don't have time, use a recruiting service like Hire Lead Chill. Just something to filter people. I always feel like you need 100 applicants to get one good employee. And if you go post an Indeed ad and have 100 applicants, there's no fucking way you're going to look through 100 resumes. It's not possible. It's not worth your time. There's no way you don't want to schedule one-on-one interviews because half of them are going to be no-shows. And that's fine. That's why you got to do group interviews. There's just a whole lot of things there. But use a recruiting system. Check out Hire Lead Chill. Check out Woot Recruit. Check out HireBus is a software that's out there. Like I'll be unbiased. There's some good things that are out there to go check out that can speed up the scoring of those applicants and make it so you don't have to sit and look at a bunch of resumes. And then all you need to do is interview them.
Save you from yourself. as a visionary entrepreneur. We've talked about that in recruiting before. Like, we just like everybody. And if you
Dude.
start to filter through all those applications, like, we're just not good at that. We look for the right things and we like people. And recruiting is like marketing too, bookkeeping. Like, save yourself from yourself. People is your most important asset that you're going to have in your company, and get it right. Save yourself from making wrong decisions. You get to make the final one, but have somebody help you get the right people in front of you.
Yeah, you will never regret having awesome people on your team. I was working on some stuff last night, and I had all day meetings in the afternoon. I have Angela, you're responsible for some of this, so some of this is your fault. I have 4 new people on my team as of like the last 2 weeks, and that kind of happens when you're growing a business really fast. But you're also like, oh shit. The first thing that happens when you have a bunch of new people is you actually get less done, right? Because you're trying to make sure you have the systems and the processes, and you want to take care of them. And I'm the worst because I'm like, hey, welcome to the team. Okay, I have a week's worth of meetings, so I don't really know when I'm gonna like talk and hang out with you. But here's a person you can jump on a call with, and here's a person you can shadow. And I feel like we have just the worst onboarding as a result of me being all over the place. But hence why I had to bring 4 people on. The first thing that happens though is you just go like straight backwards. And I was catching up. I mean, literally like 4 new people on my team. 1 that started this week, 2 that started the week before that, 1 that started right before that. And I'm looking at our team chat, and they're just like, I was out all afternoon from like 11 o'clock through like 8 o'clock out. And I was looking at my phone, trying to catch up on the day, and they just are doing stuff. They're just problem solving stuff. They're working through things. I'm seeing like emails go to clients that are just like on point. They're collaborating. And I just looked to Marty, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I just can't imagine. Like, business is so fun when you have people that are that awesome, and they're just like, they care, and they're figuring it out, and they're working together on it. And to some extent, not that they don't need you, right? They need the vision, and they need the leadership and the guidance. But I told my team today, I was just like, this is just so awesome, you guys. Like, last night I just turned to Marty, just like gushing. I was just like, I am just so thankful, that I benefit from owning a recruiting company. Like, I own part of Hire Lead Chill. I get to hang out with Angela every week. So like, I know what to do on the recruiting side. And when you get recruiting right and you have awesome people, man, it makes business so fun. And on the flip side of that, and we've all been there, when you have shitty people on your team and you know it, business, it's like tenfold worse. It sucks running a business when you don't have an awesome team. It's miserable. And you're just like stuck with it. And then you can't fire them because you have nobody to replace them, and they just hold you hostage. So man, don't be a victim of bad recruiting. Make sure your recruiting is dynamite, and it's awesome. I want to get Matthew Roca asked a question. I'm going to come back to your question, Matthew. I think that was a good one too. But let me hit Jamie's question first. Danit in the house. What's up? Jamie says, how can I sustain a culture, keep folks busy seasonal? That's a fear, keeping quality folks when I can't employ 12 months. I mean, I'm in Minneapolis and we run a window cleaning business. We it's like expectations, right? When we're hiring people up front, they know they're going to have 4 months off. We're basically done at the end of November, sometimes around Thanksgiving. Sometimes we get to work into December, but not everybody. Like, the schedule really slows down. And we don't really get started until like March or April in Minneapolis. So it's 3 to 4 months. And if somebody loves to snowboard, ice fish, rock climb, has part-time gigs that they can do in the winter, it's especially for younger people, it's just like when they're in school, but reverse. Like, in school, they had the summer off. Now they get the winter off. And there are people that want that job, and you just got to go find those people. We lay everybody off every winter. We don't try to keep them around. We don't have revenue coming in. We're not trying to be out snow plowing. Here comes the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Day in the house. But I think, here comes the myth, Sean Day. But I think you can sustain a culture a little bit easier than you think. It's just really about setting expectations and making sure when they start with you, they know what it's like. Because if you make it seem like they're going to get work all year, and then all of a sudden in November, you're like, actually, I don't have work for you. Like, you're going to hire the wrong person and they're going to resent that. But as long as they know that's what they're signing up for, makes it a heck of a lot easier. Welcome, Sean Day.
Thanks,
What's
man.
up? We just talked a whole lot. We just talked a whole lot about Crute, and Jamie Hallman needs to get his first employee. We said you should probably sign up for something like Hire Lead Chill, and take the recruiting off of your plate so you can get somebody that's awesome and let somebody else do 90% of the work.
Love to chat about that. HireLeadChill.com. HireLeadChill.com.
Boom, check it out.
I need like a drum.
What, a bell rang. Does that help?
Yeah, that was good timing. That was good timing. Ding. And this is no joke, Jamie. In this bookkeeping business of mine, how many of us are there? There's 8 of us now. We like doubled in the last 3 weeks. That's probably why I'm stressed out. We just doubled our business people-wise in the last 3 weeks. But the 2 people on this call with me are 100% responsible for all the people on my team. And there's a reason why we're growing like crazy. And there's a reason why I turned to my wife last night and I was like, this is just so fun. Like, and normally when you're growing like crazy and scaling a business, those aren't the first words out of your mouth. You're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm working too much. This is hectic. And like, this person's not showing up and this is going wrong. But when you can like turn to your significant other and say like, this is so much freaking fun. That's the right type of business. And you only get to say that if you have awesome people. Like, do not slouch on your people. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's like your peace of mind, your time, your family's time, everything you got going on hinges on the quality of your team. So like, just don't fucking come up short on that. Don't do it. I've done it for, I don't know how many businesses we tried to be cheap on, Sean, back in the day. Around the country, we didn't invest enough in it.
Hi, let's buy a company with 45 employees and just tell them all these things we're going to do for them and what's going to happen. That's a challenge, man. With Colt, I remember telling Dalkey, and I probably told you, I was there with him when we were transitioning, and all he kept saying was, won't change, won't change, won't change. He like 100 times, and I'm just going, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I'm going, we had lunch, and I said, dude, let me tell you, Mike, the hardest thing that's going to happen for this transition is the culture. Number one thing is culture, because they're so used to something different than what we are. And they were. Great company. She grew that company like crazy. I mean, it was like a $1.2 million company. In today's dollars, it's probably a $2 million company.
Right.
So phenomenal, but we just didn't have the same culture.
Yep. And I think it's okay. Back to like the setting expectations, like you don't want to tell them that they're going to work all year and then they find out in November that they're not going to work in the winter, right? Like you don't want to tell them something that's not going to be true. It's so important to set the expectations right on the front end. If you can get that right, then you attract the right people.
Big time. You know, one of the things too that we use a lot of times in job descriptions is you got to remember, if you're paying them properly, they're going to make maybe, $50,000-$60,000 a year, something like that. Different labor markets are different. Okay. But they're going to be paid well. So if they're a lawn care or a landscaper or a window cleaner or whatever it is, and they're used to working for a company that doesn't pay so well, or they're in an industry that they're not familiar with, window cleaning and exterior cleaning. They're not just familiar with that because they've never thought about that position. What if you told them that they can work 9 months out of the year and get paid for what you are making at 12 months right now? Work for us for 9 or 10 months, and that's about what you're probably making now. Want more information? You got to apply here, got to click here. That's really, it's all in the job ad too, to your point, Dan, to set those expectations. But there is a way to say it too that makes it appealing.
One thing that I always run into, I'm gonna hit this, and then we're gonna take a little commercial break and come back and hit Matthew Roca's question here. But one thing I fall in the trap of is I get in the mindset that everybody's like me and wants what I want, right? And I'm a fucking weirdo. Nobody wants to do nobody wants to do bookkeeping stuff all day. Like realistically, like no, there's very few people like me. I'm freaking weird. And we all are to an extent, right? Like, especially if you're owning a small business, you are like not a common type of person. You're probably a glutton for punishment, as a matter of fact. And so avoid telling yourself the story of what you think they're going to want. There's millions of people out there, and one of those millions of people wants the job that you have. Now, it's your job to create an awesome space for them, set really good expectations so they know what they're getting into. As Debbie Sardone says, like, create a job that people actually want. Like, it doesn't just happen by accident. You got to create a job that people want. But somebody wants that job. Somebody wants those hours. Somebody wants to be off in the winter because they're a semi-pro snowboarder that's trying to go pro. And like, that's cool. You can support them. They can't go work anywhere else. They need your job. And also, if they're going to be a semi-pro snowboarder, they're not going to mind going up 40 feet on a ladder, which I would. I don't want to be way up on a ladder, but if you're cleaning windows, you're going to be way up high. And a dude that lives on a half pipe probably doesn't mind being up that high. So go find that guy. Jai, hit us with some commercial break type of music. We'll be right back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turf Up Radio. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back in a few.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turf's Up Radio. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Cress is North America's only lineup of battery-powered OPE that meets the needs of professional landscapers. Right now with Cress, you can save up to $2,000 per crew per year, supported by the revolutionary 8-minute cyber system. Cress equipment provides the same power and performance as their gas-powered counterparts, and Cress-made 60-volt CyberPack batteries charge in 8 minutes or less. Professional landscapers can finally make the switch to battery without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. For more information or to find a dealer near you, visit Cress.com. Typical savings for a full-time landscaping crew of 3 users operating handheld power tools for 180 days per year. Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
Why is Sean sitting so still? Doesn't he know that we're supposed to be dancing? Oh, look at his background's all weird and cool, too. Was Ryan over there? What's Ryan doing, Sean? Now Sean's on mute. His background's all fuzzy. He's got that look on his face.
This is my command. Drum roll, please.
Nice.
How's that?
Yeah, hell yeah. That sounded real. That was legit.
All right, man. Go do your homework. No, I'm going to go eat.
Oh, what's up, business nerds? Welcome back to a little more Home Service Happy Hour right here on Turfs Up Radio. Thanks for tuning in on this fine Wednesday afternoon. I got it's quite possibly my favorite beer here. This was one. The can looks funny because of the green screen thing. This was it doesn't matter what it is because this is a beer that my brother-in-law left in the fridge, so it's free beer. It's my favorite kind of beer. It's delicious. It just tastes so free. So good. Thanks, Tony. Tony's the man. It's a Pilsner, actually. It's a Fair State Brewing Pilsner. Delicious.
Dude, I couldn't
Angela,
help it.
you're looking at me like that's a weird thing to say. That's just
No, I think it's hilarious. It's so you. My favorite kind of beer.
my favorite kind of beer.
Dude, I posted a Bush Light truck this morning on Facebook. And thought did you get it? All right. Yeah. Thinking of you, man. I thought you might have been in there. I thought somebody looked like you driving it, but I don't know.
Here's Plata. Stole the Bush Light truck again. If you're wondering why your books are a little bit behind, it's because Dan's over here in Ohio chasing around Bush Light trucks. He got distracted. I do think this actually probably has a little bit to do with Mia, Angela. If you guys don't know, Angela and JC totally just like won a dog. That's the best, like it, or the dog won you guys. Like I feel like she chose you guys. And I saw the video JC posted of like him running the hose and Mia just jumping through the water, just like living her best life. And it got me thinking. I was like, I think my spirit animal, and I assume like she's a mixed breed, but she's got some Labrador in her for sure.
Yeah, she looks like a lab. It is, has a mix. Yeah,
and I was just like, man, I think a Labrador is my spirit animal. I think that's me. I think I'm a Labrador. Like I'm normally wagging my tail. I'm pretty much always pumped to see people. I'm loyal as all get out. And if you lock me in the trunk and you let me back out, like I'm still going to be happy to see you. Like probably have a Bush Light for me on the ready.
Definitely need scotch.
Just don't lock me in the trunk unless you think you need to. But I think Labrador is my spirit animal. I think it pretty much hits me on the head. Pretty much always excited to see people, especially if they got ice cold free beer.
Nice.
Is Doug Brown in the house? Where's Doug Brown?
Somewhere.
He's on somewhere. Somewhere. I saw you had good old Dougie boy on your show.
Yeah,
Doug hanging out.
We're actually going to have lunch. It was funny because on the show yesterday, he's talking about how the only thing his wife doesn't really dig, supports him wholeheartedly. They're a great team. She's into him getting into Christmas lights and stuff. The only thing is sometimes he'll have something show up real large in the driveway. And it's just like, really hard for her to accept that without a conversation. So literally that was yesterday. Today I get a message from, hey, I'm going to drive 4.5, 5 hours. Is Bedford near you? I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at a big piece of equipment. I thought you and I could get some lunch. I'm like, yeah.
Just all he's got to do instead of bringing it in the driveway is just pull it out around the side of the house.
There you go.
That way, it fits better over there if it's a big piece of equipment. I would get mad if I was his wife too. Like, don't block my driveway with your big ass piece of equipment. Pull that around back.
You've got 20 acres. There's lots of room for it.
Yeah. You got to have equipment. What else? That land's not going to do itself. You got to do land things to that land. That's all I know. I'm not a farmer, but I grew up in central Wisconsin, and I like tractors because
do land things.
You got to do land stuff because that's what it's for. Because it wants land things done. Let's hit this one. Matthew Roca, if you're still on, I like this question, and I'm sorry if it took me a while to get to it. This is a tricky one. Matthew says, I own a window cleaning business. I'm in year 2, still only part-time, but finally getting to the point where I'm making more in a day than I do in a week in my full-time job. How long should I wait to go full-time in the business? Based out of West Virginia, shorter work season. This is one of those where there's just like no right answer, but I think there's like some pros and some cons, right? Which is I'm always of the mind, and this is no different when you're doing part-time stuff versus when you're doing $2 million. And at that point, you're probably full-time, but you don't even need to be. You got to hit 3 things for you and your business and the commonplace is that we all need to do these three things or need to focus on these three things. But the answer to these three things is going to be different for all of us, which is we need to do what we're best at. Right.
Yep.
And so if you're better at running this business than you are at your job, you should probably go run this business. You need to do what you love. And I think like that always has to be our North Star. If you're going to go run a business, fucking make sure that you love it. Like, be like I was yesterday, leaning over to Marty and saying like, this is just so much fun. Not many people out there would be running a bookkeeping business or doing any bookkeeping at all and being like, I'm having the time of my life. Most business owners would not say that in regards to bookkeeping related stuff. I like the bookkeeping stuff is my jam. So I can do that. So you got to do something you really love. So you got to be really good at it. You got to do something you really love. And then last is people need to be, need to find it valuable and be willing to pay you for it. So what will they pay you the most for? And those three things, they might change as you grow your business, but like you need to keep focused on how do you maximize those three things. And at different points of time in your business, you're going to have to sacrifice different ones of those. You might find a time where you're ready to get off the truck and you want to get off the truck, but you're really good at it and people still pay you a lot of money for it. And even though you don't love it anymore, it's the right thing to do for a period of time for you and your family and what you got going on. But you're still always going to be pushing towards getting back to that thing you love. And maybe that's doing more of the sales stuff or whatever it is. Just maybe the sales job in your business when it's smaller doesn't pay enough. So you also need to be the lead tech for a while, right? There's going to be sacrifices, but your entire career of growing a business, you always want to focus on that. What are you really good at? What do you really love to do? And what do people pay you the most for? And just keep striving towards that. So I think in response to your question about when's the right time, part of it is that, like, if you really love running your business, how long can you afford to not be doing it? Right? Like, it sounds like you want to be doing it and you're just waiting for somebody to tell you permission. So consider this me giving you permission. Be like, go do it. If you love it, go do it. You figure the rest out. The counter to that is risk aversion. Any financial advisor they won't tell you what to invest in. The first thing they're going to do is ask you, how risky do you want to be? And so running a business can be riskier than having a job. And do you want that risk or not? How much risk can you live with before it eats you alive? And some people are way more risk averse. And some people are like, let's wing it and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, and the more you run your business, the more you're going to be like, oh, I got this. Right. Like the more like, and Sean and Angela, I'm curious from your guys' perspective, but every time you start a new business or run a new business, it's a bit like riding a bike. Like once you've done it a couple times, you get way more confident starting a new thing. I noticed it big time in Best Damn Bookkeeping, like starting this business compared to other ones I've started. I feel like I'm on a rocket ship. Like I just kind of know what I'm going to do next. It doesn't feel risky anymore. The first time, like leaving the corporate world and joining Blue Skies with Sean back in the day, man, I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, I feel like I've got an itch I got to scratch. And I'm like, who knows what I'm getting myself into? But that felt like a crazy ass leap, even though technically it was like less risky, but I just didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Thank God I did. What's up, Dave Jensen? What's up, homie? So that's kind of my thoughts for you, Matt, is just make sure you're doing what you're really good at, what you love, and what people pay you the most for, and keep striving to do that to however that fits for you. And when to do it is just when you feel like taking that leap, man.
I think it's important. Go ahead, Angela.
Well, I was going to echo that in the opposite way. For my first answer was going to be like, go now, all in, like risk all in, just jump off the cliff and you'll figure out something and you never know. And unless you will, while you still have a plan B, you'll never know. Also, Dan's answer, that's Unique Genius is his three things. That's the name of my business. And you should always be living your life in your unique genius, which is what you're best at, what fuels your fire, what you love to do. And third, it can be what makes you the most money or what aligns with your goals the most, right? Like Dan isn't necessarily concerned with the most money. It's how much time he can spend with his family and ice fish and hunt.
You got that right.
So what aligns with the life that you want to build for yourself?
Yeah,
But
maybe that's a good point. I should reframe that because it's not about money, it's about value. What creates the most value for you?
value in your life.
Yeah.
And some people, I mean, you want to do what you love and what fuels your fire. Some people might own a home service business and never be on the truck because they didn't ever want to do the thing. Like maybe you love, maybe you love helping, have a medical degree and love people helping in that way. So you always do that because you love that, but you also love owning a business. So it's what Dan, although again, my first answer was like, just jump.
I think that which I think we all kind of, like as entrepreneurs, we all kind of have that like, come on, it's super fun.
Yeah.
And then like just be ready for that. As Sean says, like the day you're just sitting there like banging your head against the wall, like wondering what the hell you're gonna do because of the situation you put yourself in. But we'll all be here for you. Like we've all been there. We'll all be here for you when you're at that point. It's exciting.
I dig it. I'd say you mentioned do what you love and do what you're good at. I think those two, if you can't do one or the other of those two have to go hand in hand because you can be really good at something and hate it. You can be really good at pounding away at something and getting things done with it, but you just can't stand doing it. And if you get to a point where you get employees, you got to be careful too that you're not promoting them from a technician to managing people because you want to promote them. They might be really good at cleaning windows and taking care of things. That doesn't mean they have any business managing people that are cleaning windows because they don't love that. That's not their jam. You know what I'm saying? But I was going to say, I'll echo the opposite, echoing that one thing that Angela said about jumping in and jumping off the cliff and then buy the parachute later. I would say when you started to bring up risk, the only other thing I'd add to your list is risk mitigation. I mean, make sure you've got a great insurance person, a great, tax person and that sort of thing, or at least you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing with it, that's fine. But you got to be real careful of getting sued and those goofy things like that.
Good call. I like.
I think the whole trio, like you said, you can't have one without the other, Sean. You can't like be really good at it and not. But it also has to align with your values, similar to Doug Brown getting in trouble for vehicle, big things in the driveway. You can be doing something that you are good at and you love, right? But if you're doing that and it is not steering in the direction of the life you're trying to create, I mean, something's going to be wrong in your relationship.
Yeah. And we joked a little bit about that and we talked it through because I asked him after that, how important it is to have a spouse or significant other that's aligned with what you're doing in business, and I learned a hot lesson. I mean, there was something I didn't tell my wife. I got burned bad on it and I'll never do it again. Never, ever do it again. I don't care what it is.
Got to be a team.
You better believe it.
I like Zig's note here, and then I got one more. I got a couple thoughts, and then we'll take a commercial break. But our boy Zig says, listen to a lot of military first responder type podcasts. One in particular has a lot of Navy SEALs on. Gathered from listening to them that the ones who had a plan B during BUDS, or is it BUDs? BUD, the spell is the same. He capitalized it so it looks to me like it'd be BUDS. Never make it through. He said he thinks that translates to business to an extent where, to Angela's point, at some point you just got to be all in on it. Got to go for it, or you half-ass it. I was thinking through like situationally things where it's not my career for certain reasons. Golf came to mind. Like I was a pretty good golfer growing up, and I found out that I didn't love it. I really like going and drinking beers and golfing with buddies, but I didn't like what it took to be elite at golf. I didn't like the practice. I didn't like turning a hobby into a job. And so I didn't. And right, you could probably, for a while, if you were the right level, you could probably make money playing golf. It'd take you a while to get there, but if you were elite at it, you could get there. But that dream like kind of died for me, where I was just like, I just don't love it. I only love doing it when I'm drinking beer and hanging out with buddies, but I don't love doing it to try to be elite at it. a similar thing is drinking Busch Lights. I'm really good at it and I love it, but it doesn't create value for other people. So I don't do it as a professional career. I don't have a business drinking
That's
Busch Lights.
probably
Now at some point, I don't know why they wouldn't sponsor this podcast. Like,
exactly.
where are you at, Busch Light? Come on with it. At some point, maybe they will, and then I'll have to take that back because then it will be creating value for them. And I am really good at it, and I like it, and so that would check all 3 boxes. But let's Jai, hit us with some commercial break music. We'll take a little quick commercial break. We'll be back closing out the show here on you guys in a minute. I'm gonna wet my whistle. I'm gonna wet my whistle real quick. Hydrate.
True Fuel is a high-octane fuel precision-engineered for your 2- and 4-cycle equipment. They use the most advanced synthetic lubricants and stabilizers in an ethanol-free fuel, improving performance, protecting your equipment, and saving you time. That means easier startups, smoother idling, and quicker trigger response, plus extended life for all of your equipment. True Fuel is ready to use and easy to store, helping your operations be more efficient and reducing maintenance costs. We at Turfs Up use True Fuel because we know it works and we know it's the best option. Check out truefuel50.com to learn more. That's TRUFUEL50.com.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Are outdated spreadsheets and whiteboard scheduling costing you jobs? Or is a lack of consistency between crews causing your bids to differ from job to job? Or worse, delaying critical invoices and payments? Crew Control offers all-in-one business management solutions fit for every trade. From bidding and scheduling to invoicing and integrating payments, Crew Control provides real-time visibility into your crew's efficiency, whether you're in the field, in the office, or even on vacation. Manage your crews more effectively and improve business performance with Crew Control. Start your free trial today at crewcontrol.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Now we don't need to worry about Sean not dancing because he had to run and take Ryan to things. So now we just take over. What's up, Angela? How the heck you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite hours of the week.
I don't disagree one bit. I see Faith jumped on. Faith and Gabe have the cutest freaking like chill baby on the planet. Got to see them at CPF Live. That was pretty fun. We had a home the best damn bookkeeping and home service happy hour koozie, which looks really weird with the green screen behind me, but you can imagine what it looks like. It's not this see-through in person. But we had his baby bottle in one of these.
Aww.
Rocking baby bottle. Ellie Mason checking in. Ellie Mason says they're rocking it in KC area. I think I'm talking to Ellie next week.
I don't think I kept a koozie from Sales Boost. So that was when I looked funny earlier. I was like, man, I really need.
Oh yeah, you need a koozie.
I need a summer koozie, which is my fault that I did not take one from Sales Boost.
I even like left a bunch laying around randomly because I'm just forgetful. Teresa McConnell says Tulsa is rocking. Heck yeah. I have found I was gonna pull that down. I'm definitely seeing that like spring pickup, but it was a little goofy this year. Like it seemed like it delayed in more places. But I'm seeing things kind of like stabilizing, if you will, which is good. Are you seeing a similar vibe with on the VA side of things that people are kind of like getting back to normal here?
That people were kind of in a panic, especially newer people that were like getting set up with a VA, that they were like, yeah, we're going to need them, the beginning of March. mid-March, and then there was just kind of this pushback in time panic, like
Yeah.
the phone's not ringing yet. But then it's in full swing. Like we know that, right? I think people, I think it's later. But maybe people also were in this like economy, election year panic, and just some of that happened in their head, because then the month really ends up, what I'm hearing from people is like the month is ending up better than last year. So maybe it was just in a panic and not booked up to begin with.
I'm taking a picture of our screen right now. Oh, your face is pretty funny. That was perfect timing. I love doing that to my wife. I always take pictures like when she's not ready for it, because then she can't stop me. One of our bookkeeping clients was like, "Hey, who do you recommend for a VA service?" And so I just took a picture of our screen, like with you and I here talking. It's perfect timing. I got the this is like a shout out, but it's a shout out to me. I just saw we got our new home service happy hour group like up and running, and I've kind of not been paying a whole lot of attention to it, but every once in a while I go in and invite people to it. We're at 500 members. 500.
Wow.
So that's neato. Do me this, you guys. If you're not a home service happy hour member, go jump in there, because why not? It's like this and other cool stuff.
And invite your friends.
Yeah, share it. Share the thing. Be like, hey, if you want business done fun, go check this out. Also, go jump on the YouTubes and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because Jai puts the little snippets out there. And when you can't, and go, check out the podcast, check out the gram, check out the whatever's, there's other places where the thing goes. But go to the YouTube channel and subscribe there, because then you get the little snippets. In case you can't catch the whole show, Jai's like, hey, here's the good stuff, so you don't have to listen to Dan yabber for an hour. Here's the stuff that Angela said that it was actually like concise and was smart and made sense, and then he puts that in there. So you can go get the good stuff.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Jai.
Here's the concise stuff that they actually made sense saying during the episode.
Yeah. It's like, let's knock out Dan's monologue, and here's the bullet point you need.
Okay, I got it. Speaking of that, I mean, in a roundabout way to that, I did get a kind of funny referral from you last week. Somebody that watched Scotty, a new client of yours.
Oh, Scott's hilarious.
Watched, and you did. It wasn't a referral. You did connect me, but it was his first time watching the episode, and he's like, "So you like just drink beer at 3:00 in the afternoon?" I'm like, "Well, it's 4 for me, so it's a little better now that I'm on the East Coast." But yes, that's what we do. And he's like, "It took you a while to get into the subject." I'm like, "Yes, some weeks it does."
Yeah, that's normal. It's happy hour for a reason.
Yeah, like, are you guys having fun? I was like, yeah, it's just having fun. Just grab a beer and have some fun, and there will be some nuggets in there somewhere.
It's a business entertainment podcast. It's more about the entertainment than the, hey, here's your to-do list of nuggets. It's a radio show. It's an entertainment show. It's called Home Service Happy Hour for a reason. It's not Home Service Business Nuggets Made Concise on Turf's Up Radio. It's Home Service Happy Hour on Turf's Up Radio. Scott is a ton of fun. We're like doing weekly meetings with him and his office gal to like work through some stuff and get everything set up right. And we have a Tuesday meeting set up, but we did like an ad hoc one last Friday, and it was like at 8 a.m. and he showed up with a beer, and he's like, "So we doing this thing? Like, is this how we do this?" And I was like, "Oh, are you doing that? Like, I'm from Wisconsin. He's in Michigan." I was like, "I'm from Wisconsin. I'll do this thing." And we didn't. But I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious." He like was ready to go for a meeting. He's like, "I don't know. I just want to be like ready to go if we're gonna have one." And I was like, it's 8 a.m. and I'm not fishing. If I was fishing, then we probably should. But since we're just doing business stuff,
It was a Friday.
It was a Friday. I did say, hey, like, here's my Sales Boost coffee mug, which is now downstairs, but I had my Sales Boost coffee mug, and I was like, there's no telling if there's Bailey's in here or not. There's no telling. There wasn't. It was just regular creamer. But
There's a reason we don't do a morning radio show.
Yeah, the rest of the day would be less than productive. But I am maybe we well, Hecubus has his morning show. I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but he would have a beer during his morning show.
Mm.
He's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Which I could get down with that. What else is good, Angela? What else is good? What do you got going on? Are you guys as busy as everybody else is?
Yeah. It's an exciting because everyone's in the busy, right? Like now people are busy and they're realizing they need help or their help that they had, didn't play. Yeah, it's a super exciting time. Super exciting time helping different people and either with home service admins or some of the people I love getting people an executive assistant that like can change that, help them buy back their time as the business owner and do the 3 things that we were just talking about to work in your unique genius, to be able to in your business, in your life, everything, do the things that you love to do the most, that you're the best at, and that align, get you towards that value and your goals in your life. And sometimes executing those things isn't just a traditional admin in your business. It's just the things you shouldn't be doing. So
to that point, we should probably let everybody know as a follow-up to last week's episode when I was like, Angela, like, we got to do this thing. We got to get me somebody to help me. We did. And Nina started on Monday and she's been putting up with me ever since. I told her, I was like, hey, I got my radio show, starting now. So you don't need to hang out with me anymore. Like, you can come on the radio show if you want. But you don't need to. But she's been just like hanging out with me on meetings and taking notes and getting to know the business. And it's been super fun to like have her peeking in here and there, checking this out, handling this, sending that out, billing this person, sending that person an email. Just the stuff where I'm always behind on. So it's super fun getting her up to speed.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice, but cool shirt you got there.
Yeah, you like this thing?
Yeah, I do.
I got some gear now, you guys. I got the gear with the thing, and it's got a beer mug on it. It's embroidered. Cool. It's really nice and fancy. There's 2 things about I got 4 polos and like 4 long sleeve shirts so that I have some different colors to work with. And the one downside is I like the polos are freaking awesome. They're like the right weight, the right breathability. Oh, JC in the house. He made it. Does that mean he's done running? Like he's not dead? He made his run.
He must have made the run. Just survived the run.
Survived the run. There's two things about these shirts, one good, one bad, which is they're like nice and lightweight and they're like stretchy. But I like bought them on Amazon and just sent them to the place that I wanted to do the embroidery stuff. So I knew like the sizes because I've had some other Under Armour shirts like this. The polos turned out great. The long sleeves are a little thinner than I thought they were going to be compared to some ones I already had, which is nice in that they're just a little stretchier, like easier to roll up the sleeve, and they stay there, which I'm definitely like, I'm a this sleeve sort of guy. Like I'm a capri pant sleeve sort of guy. Is that you know what I mean? Like capri pants that are like 2/3 of the way down your leg. That's me with sleeves a lot of times. I'm a 2/3 sleeve sort of guy. But I like the option to go full sleeve. I don't want the sleeve to just be here. I want it to be like rolled up to there so I can pull it back down. The only downside though is they're like so thin that sometimes you can like see through. If you have a shirt with a lot going on underneath it, it'll like pop through. And if it's cold, full vulnerability here. Like my nipples just get hard when it's cold. And if you've ever seen me in public, you're probably like, yeah, that guy runs pretty rock solid there. And so they're too thin to like cover that up, but just deal with it. It's just who I am. You always have to deal with that.
More reasons to get the jacket done.
Yeah.
More reasons to get the jacket done.
Yeah, but I run hot. Like my body temp is hot, so I don't want a lot of layers on because I'm just hot. So just Just running with some diamond cutting nipples is what I got going on. Home service happy hour, everybody. This is what happens around here.
Welcome.
But yeah, I appreciate the nod to the shirt. I like it. I got 3 other colors too. I got a whole bunch of different colors going on. Now I got some gear. Now I gotta get.
You're like, normal people that need color variety. Not me.
I don't know that I need color variety. Like I could do gray every day, which is weird for my personality, but I could rock some gray every day. I just bought the colors so that depending on what else I was wearing that day, I had some options. But I do think I like your strategy of just do black stuff because then it's easier to just make everything work. It only gets weird when your shades are different. When you're like, oh, that black is different than that black. Then you're like, shit, like that's a different black. I can't put that black with that black. It's clearly a different black. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a fashionista.
You are.
Look at me go.
Follow Dan for more fashion advice.
For all my fashion advice. All right,
Just
you
go
guys.
in the YouTube.
Yeah, put that one in the YouTubes. That's a good one. Here's Dan's fashion advice. This black is different than that black. Let's wrap this baby up. Play us out, Jai. I gotta go get my kids. We got sports and nerdy stuff to do like that. I'm back on tonight. I think I got my buddy Justin Noggle coming on tonight to hang out. Let me check my calendar. Let me verify so I don't lead y'all astray. I do. I got Justin Noggle coming on tonight. We're gonna have some fun. Probably drink a beer or two. Talk about positivity. Talk about good vibes. And a whole lot of other bullshit, I'm sure. Sure of it. So maybe I'll see you then. You guys know what to do in the meantime. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. See you tonight.